Hey everybody, and welcome back to Set the Pipe. I am Sully, and there's my boy CK, and Bear's with us.
Hey.
Today we are going international, boys, and we're going clothing, the hottest clothing company on the scene right now, as far as I have heard for a very, very long time. We'll get into that. So welcome, Viola, Tonello. We have Lesley, DeJonge, right? And we have Chris Reames. Welcome to Set the Pipe, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, and so as you guys can see, everybody's at CK's house right now. They all came over there, and we couldn't wait to get on this podcast. But CK, if you can give us some background about our guest here, I think that'd be fantastic.
I would love to. First and foremost, I want to say thanks to them for helping me troubleshoot some stuff here. I don't have the big studio yet. If you hit subscribe and we keep growing, we'll have a much bigger studio so we can all be here together. So really appreciate that. But true story, funny story is obviously we're helping here want to grow volleyball. That's why we started this podcast. And on the 31st of December, I get a call from Tim Kelly, and he's over in Europe. And he tells me the story of what Lesley's doing over here, which I'm going to let him tell it from his own words of how he is here to promote volleyball and what he is doing. So Tim calls me and says, hey, these guys are going to be on the United States doing a little tour of promoting volleyball and trying to really spread the brand of volleyball. I think it'd be great to have them on your podcast for two reasons. One, it'd be just they're great people. And two is kind of to help promote their tour and kind of what they're doing and how they're evangelizing volleyball, which is why we started this podcast.
Yep.
Really to just talk about volleyball, tell fun stories. And boy, do we have some great stories. I mean, we just started, we're about to get this suited up, and Tyler Hildebrand's, texting Chris here, and I had to, call Tyler and tell him to leave us alone so we can talk volleyball here. But Lesley, I think it'd be great if you wouldn't mind just kind of telling it in your own words, what you're doing, why you're here, and we can go from there.
Of course. I mean, it's a pleasure to be here. I see that your house is completely synchronized to our countries. You're having an orange Dutch background.
Oh,
and
good
point. A blue Azzurro Italian background. So well done on that.
Of course. My wife played in the Netherlands, as we said, so I had to kind of make it like that. So it was great.
There we go. And it's been amazing. We have been in the US now for 4 weeks, and we on purposely let January and February be free in the schedule. So the thing that we do is we promote volleyball all over the world, not just in the US. We try to give access to the sport for kids to be able to play in underprivileged areas, rural areas, refugee camps, places all over the world where the impact of playing really makes a difference. And I'm sure you can all relate so much how much the sport has been an impact on our lives, right? You guys, I think you guys have some more years of life experience than I do.
Just a little.
Wow, you're being so kind to us right now. That's so nice, and not calling us old. That's great. Thanks, buddy.
And also for me, like meeting your partner for life, your best friends, your working relationships, everything comes through the sport, and that only happens when you have the opportunity to play. And so many people don't have that opportunity, and that's what we're doing to change. And not just in the US, we're doing that all over the world. And the unique part is that we do that with the community itself. So we have the biggest athletes in the world, coaches from all over the world, clubs, brands. Chris, the man here himself, is one of our partners. And it's just incredible to see how big this community is growing and moving forward. And happy to dive much deeper in that. But CK, I might want to introduce also this man right here.
Yeah,
for sure.
I really want to I'm going to let Chris and everyone tell their own story. But the greatest thing about Chris is he's here from Orange County, and his brand is the hottest brand in volleyball all over the world, not just here in the United States. And listening to his story of why he started it and what it's about, down in Laguna, I think it's fantastic. I got my hat on right here, sporting it, really excited about it. Might need to try to bring it over to the basketball world because that's where my kids play. But Chris, welcome. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, obviously with your brand, but what you're doing also with Lesley to help promote volleyball here and abroad.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. So Slunk started in 2018. Honestly, just for fun. There was no intention of growing it into some huge brand. I grew up in Laguna Beach, went to Laguna Beach High School. So I played beach volleyball my whole life. I played indoor volleyball as well. I only played 1 year of club, but I played so much beach that it actually helped me get a scholarship in college. I played at IVC for Pesto. But then I also played Pesto's the best.
Yes.
And then I played at Concordia.
Italian.
Yeah, pesto, right?
That's Viola's
Pestalozzi.
We call it pesto.
Second, the pestalozzi. There you go. See, that's so
I know, I
much
should have
better.
done that. I got to start doing that to him.
A little over the top. The pestalozzi.
Viola likes that.
See?
So
Viola's
you were
like,
saying
shut
you
up.
got you a scholarship to Concordia.
So long story short, I played volleyball my entire life. Since I was 3 years old, I've played beach volleyball. And I've also surfed my whole life. When the waves are good, I'm out in the water. When the waves weren't good, I was playing beach volleyball. And then at night, we're riding the trolleys around Laguna, trying to have a good time, drinking some beers when we were 21 years old. So,
Of course.
yeah. So I
Weird.
kind of turned it into a brand. And we called it Slunks. The name comes from Victoria Beach specifically. That's a beach down in Laguna Beach where a lot of legends grew up. Dusty Dvorak, I think he was the setter of the century. He kind of taught me how to play volleyball. I still keep in contact with him all the time.
Good plan, boy.
Dane Blanton and his brother play down at Victoria all the time, and
Yep.
He's okay. He's all right.
Went to UCLA, right? One
He
of you
went to
guys?
Pepperdine.
He went to
Dane-
Pepperdine.
Pepperdine.
He coaches at USC right now.
Yeah. One of you guys played at UCLA, right?
No,
My
no?
wife did.
Your wife?
They played at Long Beach and I played at Northridge, and we played against Dane. I played against Dane a bunch of times, and as I mentioned earlier, that he's one of my best friends, and he's killing it at USC for women's
Gold
beach.
medalist.
But having him be a part of Laguna Beach and being a part of that, like you said, that lifestyle of what it was truly about. It was about having fun, but it was about competing, and it was about playing. You were in the water, or you're out on the beach, and what a great place to grow up. But more importantly, like to build your brand based off of something that matters to you, right? Victoria Beach and bringing that out and seeing it grow. So that's great.
Yeah, it's more so about the community that's down at Victoria Beach itself, and it's just got really good professional volleyball players, and you got people who just want to learn, and anybody and everybody can play volleyball. That's the beauty of volleyball, and the community around it is amazing. And to jump into the community of things, that's kind of how I met Lesley and Viola in May. We have another friend, Key. Shout out to Key. You guys should have her on the podcast as well. She's an Olympian from England, 6'5", middle, female. She's great. But the reason I'm bringing her up is because I saw on one of her stories, she went on the year before. She went with Lesley on one of his trips. I saw her posting about it, and I said, "What is this? I would love to, know more about what this is." And then she told me in a month that they were going to Africa to go help out. And a few days later, I got on a Zoom with Lesley, and he explained what they were doing. And I think it was a day later I made the decision that in a month from then I was going to go to Africa to go help out, because it's been a goal of mine personally before Slunks even started to go help as much as I can. But to be able to do it with the brand is unbelievable and amazing. And everything Les is doing is honestly, it's very real. It's very authentic. I've been there. I've experienced it, and it's an unbelievable experience. And it's so awesome that volleyball is the vessel and the community of volleyball that put us together, and that I was able to go over to Africa and go help out. Because obviously growing up in Laguna, you get a little jaded. So I wanted to make sure I went over there and understand what it's like across the world.
Hey, so before we get to Viola, Chris, what's your group called?
My group?
Lesley, sorry.
Yeah, the Let's Keep the Ball Flying Foundation.
Right. So that was brought up by TK on our podcast with him. So it's letskeeptheballflying.com. I want all you guys to go out there, check it out. For sure, .org, my bad. And
we'll put it up. We'll put it up
for sure
when we post this on that for
sure.
sure.
And then, Holy, I don't know if you know, we have another middle on our podcast right now.
I do.
Just letting you, professional player from Italy, Viola.
And-
Now, how did you get in the mix with these guys? I mean, I see where Chris comes in with Lesley, but how did you and Lesley meet and talk about your professional career? We're all for it, but 10 years is a middle. That's, I mean, I told you, big dumb middles, we keep doing it. We have a different brain. We're brilliant, but nonetheless, we work super hard. So tell us your story a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us, guys. It's a pleasure to be here, really, and a pleasure to speak about volleyball in a podcast. It's like a dream.
Nice.
And yeah, the story of how I met Lesley, I met him 2 years ago in the gym, our favorite place.
Yeah.
I was practicing in Italy with my team, and honestly, I was in a moment of my life where I was really thinking about how to combine volleyball with something more. I needed some more purpose. And I didn't want to find it outside of volleyball. I really needed it to be inside of my environment, of what I really loved. And like, he just entered my gym one day saying me, yeah, I run a charity project to give access to volleyball all over the world. And would you like to be involved? And I was like, yes, this was what I was looking for. So where were you before? And like 2 months later, I was booking a flight to the Philippines to join him on his first, on my first trip with Let's Keep the Ball Flying. And I really didn't expect so much. I was going there really just because I was curious of what was going on there.
Yep. Yep.
And I met like the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, and all people that wanted to give back through volleyball, through our sport. I saw the most amazing places I've ever seen in my life. And all of that was connected to give back and help kids in volleyball. So I just started to think, okay, I want to be involved in that forever. I don't care how, but I want to be connected to all of that. And so now we are a partner also in life, so it's easier to be
Didn't know
connected
that.
to that.
It's starting to make a lot of sense.
Lesley,
Yeah.
Sly Dog, hey, you want to come with me to the Philippines? Come on over. Yes, innocent. I thought this was all innocent. I thought this was like strictly business. No. Okay, good for you two. Good job.
That's how volleyball connect everyone.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm married
You
to
guys-
a volleyball player. Coley's married to a volleyball player.
Yeah.
Bear's the only one isn't. Chris? Married?
I'm single. I'm married to the business.
Oh, I bet you are, man. I bet.
No, he's married to volleyball. He is married to volleyball.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much. It
It
is-
can be rough sometimes, volleyball
Yeah.
can. So, wow, didn't know that.
And-
Very
And
good.
she is taller than Mooney, so she's just a little bit. Are you 6'3"? Is that am I close?
She's a
6'3", 6'4"?
receiver,
6'.
83, 82.
Yeah.
See?
I would say it's 6'1", 6'2".
I think Michelle's 6'2", and I think you were a little bit taller than her. But it's either way. It's one half that does in the other. But what makes this so great to me, first and foremost, is we've already said it. Thanks for making the time to come here and talk to us on this podcast. But more importantly, what's really cool to me is what you're doing and what makes volleyball so great and why we all love it. Right? It's about such a community. It's about such a fun game to play. It's about teaching, learning, and just being a part of the party, being a part of the culture, and having you guys do what you do and coming here to tell us about it is special to me. It's special to us, and we're just grateful to have you on it. And I think what you're doing is what we need to see volleyball across the world, to grow it and to give folks who don't have an opportunity to play it more of a chance to play it, right? And that's where TK had told us. I know he's doing a lot of things. He's done so many things with tours all over the world, mainly in Europe for years, and he's trying to move that. He's trying to move that to Africa. He's trying to move that to certain places in the Middle East and grow the game of volleyball to help that. And to see what you're doing is just spectacular. And to have Chris as one of your partners as well, as numerous others, to be a part of something like this is just great. So Lesley, walk us through not just how it started, but what's the goal for your United States visit? You're here for a couple months. You're promoting your brand, explaining it to folks. You're going all over the country talking to many. What would be the goal and what we would like to tell our listeners, what you guys are doing here in the United States for the next couple months?
So the AVCA Final Four, I was privileged to do the closing session presentation. We had 250 people in the room listening to our story. And after that, we had so many people running up to us. How can we be involved? How can we do this? How can we help? Some people were crying, and I was just, wait, what's happening? Because you have to understand, we're coming from a place where we've been pushing the snowball up against the wall for 5 years, learning, understanding how to build this movement, how to get people involved, who can we trust, who is not the best idea to trust. Simple example, sometimes we receive an email, hey, out of Africa, we would need 500 balls or $100,000. Can you help us? Or we had people writing like, hey, I have 50 kids. They play on an outdoor court without shoes. We have one ball. If you could please send us one extra ball, I doubled their contacts, and that will be such a big help. Right? And those were the people we are connecting with now and supporting over the years. And that just makes small things can just make such a huge difference. And we have kind of proven the system right now of what we want to do, how we want to do it, and with who. And now it's time to scale up. And guys, what's a better place to scale up than the US? I didn't know, but after spending 1 month here, stuff is exploding. And after the ABCA, Vio and I looked each other in the eyes, and we didn't really plan the month of January out yet, but we got so much support. Why don't we create a full cross-country US tour and just try and go to visit everybody we can? And you know what? Why don't we ask everyone to just host us and support us and join this movement? And it's a crazy idea, because going all over the US in 7 weeks, like we're meeting 2-3 clubs, universities, coaches, podcasts every day, going across country. So people are telling us we're absolutely nuts, but they love it though. So everybody is helping and getting involved. And it's absolutely insane that just over this 1 week, we have scheduled out this whole tour, and we got the big companies supporting, the big universities supporting, local clubs supporting, and we're going to go all over and build up this movement. And wow, how incredible is that? And love to share more on, how people can help and how people can engage, but it's also a beautiful story with Chris and Slunks here as an example, because, he was first together with Tim.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Getting involved.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Chris. So, I think once we get to a certain point in our professional career, or even, college, after we play in college, and we kind of go, how are we going to give back, right? So in your business, we talked offline, is you have sponsorships, you do affiliates and stuff. How did this hit you in terms of, oh my gosh, I can really give back? I mean, you went to freaking Africa, dude, right? So when did that light bulb go, whoa, we can actually help these guys and really kind of help ourselves in terms of giving back?
Yeah, I mean, once I talked to Lesley right away, I knew I had to go. I didn't really care what was going on in my life. And, I essentially run the business. I have a partner who runs it with me, but the business is obviously super important to me, but at the end of the day, it's more so about giving back, and it's more so about doing the right thing and doing good things. And, I was lucky enough to call Lesley right at the right time, and he invited me. So we decided to go. A cool thing is we actually made these shorts specifically for,
Check it out.
We first made them just for whoever was on the trip. And then we made about 100 more that we passed out to some of the kids who were out in Africa.
Awesome.
And then we did a fundraiser about a month or 2 months ago, where we did 100 pairs at $100, and then we donated 100% of the profits to Lesley and Let's Keep the Ball Flying, which, those sold out right away. So it was super awesome. Yeah. And we're planning to do that again on his next trip to Colombia. I don't know.
Sold out right away. Let me translate. They were sold out in under a minute.
No kidding.
It was
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, it was so cool.
So how much can Slunks do in terms of production, in a day, in a week? How much can you guys actually produce? Because if this thing's taking off like crazy, to take care of that workload, and hopefully we can help you garner more business and more eyeballs to what you guys are trying to do, what would that take? Or can you guys, what can you handle?
Well, so where we're unique is our biggest business is actually the uniform business. So we make fully customized uniforms. So,
Yep.
a lot of brands will say they make custom uniforms, but they're not making fully custom uniforms. We have 3 full-time designers who are working all day, every day. Last year in 2025, we outfitted over 800 different clubs throughout the country.
Yeah.
And every single design, for the most part, was fully customized. So it's a lot more work, a lot more problems can happen and things like that. But that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we're kind of bringing the lifestyle of a brand to the volleyball community. And that's what we're doing with the uniforms, which, most uniform brands are just a uniform brand and they don't have this other lifestyle side. We're trying to combine it all. So, I just love the sport of volleyball, and I think it definitely needs a cool kick. And, in the 80s and 90s and 80s, volleyball was the cool sport. So that's what I kind of looked up to, and that's kind of what Slunks represents, is that cool 80s vibe from back in the day.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was talking to Bear, and I was like, Bear, you realize back in the 80s, early 90s, it was like side out. It was Massimo, right? And then all of a sudden when the AVP went down, there's been nothing.
Yeah.
There literally has been nothing. There hasn't been that niche.
Don't forget club. Don't forget club sports. Remember
club. I
Yeah,
can name a couple of them, but nonetheless, those.
No,
right?
the brand club. Yeah,
But they went away, right? So with Lesley and Viola to hop on with Slunks right now, I can't even tell you what great timing you guys have. I mean, one, brilliant brand, right? And everybody's loving it, by the way. And this is your generation, honestly, right? They're loving the brand, but also just the timing. And we talk about in the pod all the time, women's volleyball is just through the roof right now in the States. And it's like the numbers have kind of been there, but just the popularity is through the roof. The men's volleyball is growing exponentially in high school and in college right now. So you guys couldn't have been a perfect time of the year, the perfect year to come to the United States and jump on this. But Chris, it's really, really good to hear you're giving back in that way. And just the fact that you hooked up with these guys is fantastic.
Yeah, what's cool about his brand, and I'll show you, Chris, after I already told you about it. But there's a tournament going on in Hawaii for Division III volleyball right now. Cal Lutheran's one of the ones there, and we're going to have them on the podcast in the next couple of days. But I was talking to one of the associate head coaches, and he says, "Oh, can I get on today?" Which was today, and I said, "Sorry, we can't do it today because I'm having you guys." He goes, "Oh, you're really having Chris from Slunks on?" Shows up a picture of his shorts, and it's Cal Lutheran University playing in a college volleyball tournament with custom shorts made just for the tournament, and which is pretty rad. And it would just, again, come full circle. I'm having you in my house and in the studio right now, and I was just talking to a former Matador who played there that has custom shorts for his college. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
If I can say something
Sure,
also
jump in.
We feel so lucky to be here and to have met Chris, and we are deeply grateful to have met also the person that is behind Slunks, because really deserves all the best, and all the success he's having is also a result of the great person he is. And so we always talk about Chris, like really is part of our family, in our heart. We love him so much. So we're so grateful to be able to be together.
Us three have become really close within the last 6 months, especially within the last few weeks. They've been staying at my house as well. So
no kidding.
I've given
That's
them
awesome.
tour, the San Francisco tour, so they've seen it all.
Yeah. If you need to kick them out, I got a little space here. They're more than welcome to stay here. You guys are more than welcome to come back anytime, at least for the next 7 or 8 months. Now, I want to talk real quick, pivot a bit about volleyball itself. Lesley, you played. Obviously, do you still play at all?
I mean, for fun. I can tell you a little bit about my history in volleyball and where all of this idea in generally is coming from.
Right.
Would love to add just a small note on what just been said. We all see how big the volleyball community is all over the world. It's one of the biggest sports played. everywhere in the world. And then the community part is such a big deal of it. But we're also living in a world right now where things become more and more fake, where things become more and more about quantity instead of quality, right? And we also feel that that is changing. We are just searching for more purpose, searching for more reality and real stuff. And I think that's also what Slunks represent: community, real things. And I mean, they're adopting a volleyball school with us in Africa.
Oh,
So they have
awesome.
their own branded school in Africa with Slunk shorts and everything.
That's awesome.
And to come into that space, to see that, to work with it, and
Yeah.
also connect the whole community into something like that just makes everything more real. And that's what we all want, and it's only gonna grow bigger. You know, it's the big brands like Nike, all over the US, Adidas. They don't have that real anymore, and it's going to be more and more and more important over the next years ahead. So I think that's where we're starting on a move that I think more and more people will start to get engaged. And you're offering your house as well, CK, and thank you so much for that. It's actually all over the US. People are offering their house to us in this tour, that's just freaking incredible. That that's part of the volleyball community right there, and that is a bridge to my life as a player. I've played as long as I could, but I wanted to be a coach since I was 14. It was my big dream to be professional volleyball coach, to be the best in the world, and to give everything that I had into that life. So I started head coaching since I was 14 years old, every year, and just saving money as much as I could to go in the off seasons, to go and visit professional coaches all over the world. I would just call or email them, hey, I'm Lesley, can I come over? I'll shag balls all training. I will fix everything myself. I would just love one day a lunch or a dinner where I can ask you some questions. And I always got yes, always. And I can't call Ronaldo or Messi, but in volleyball, yes. And that's why we now also have a movement, the 1% movement. We have the 32 biggest athletes in the world that are donating 1% of their volleyball income to Let's Keep It Alive. How cool is that? Just our community stepping up. And I was privileged when I was 27 to be on my first pro year, highest league in the Netherlands. And I got a phone call if I wanted to be the national team coach of Nepal in Asia. So, of course, I said yes. And that just completely turned my life upside down. So I did a 3-year national team journey in Asia, including the Asian Games in Indonesia, Jakarta, 2018. And the experiences that I saw there on and off the court just flipped that whole side of I want to be the best coach in the world to, whoa, there is just so much more to this. I want more than going in and out of hotel and just winning and losing, winning, losing.
Right.
And I was just privileged to see so many examples of what this sport can do for people. And sometimes they are very, very tiny. And I would close the last thing I say for now and give the word to you guys again. But so in Nepal, we did a session with 12-year-old girls, and we gave them a bag with donated jerseys from an amateur team from the Netherlands. And we all had that moment as kids, where you can get a jersey from a famous athlete or get a signature. We all know that moment. These were just amateur club jerseys without signatures. And the girls, they were ecstatic having just those jerseys. And we did a 2-hour session, and it just sparked my curiosity because they were that ecstatic. I wanted to know, why? So what else you can do than to just go and ask, right? So walked over to one of those.
So do you guys, when you're touring and stuff, can you be a little more specific? Are you running camps? Are you running clinics? Are you doing tournaments? How are you promoting volleyball?
Let me round up this story real quick because that will tell you more on how it's happening. So I walked up over to that girl and just asked the question, hey, why you guys are so excited about having these jerseys? And her answer absolutely blew my mind. Look up to me, twinkling eyes, like all happy. Guru, which is the Asian word for coach. Yeah. We're so happy. Like it's the first time that I feel like I belong to a group because we're all wearing the same jersey.
Yeah, powerful.
And that moment right there, I remember it as the day of yesterday, was the start of Let's Keep the Ball Flying. Right there. Because if it's that easy to make a small impact on someone's life, we can all do it, especially with our volleyball community, because we're so big and so willing to give and go into it. So that was 2020. And now we're 5 years in and, discovered how we can actually do this mission. And it just first started with collecting jerseys, especially in the US. You guys have so much left over.
Too much stuff. Too much stuff.
And why not give it a new purpose in places where they don't have the money to afford that stuff? So that was just the beginning. Now we have a new strategy towards 2030. Our main target audience is coaches, grassroots, rural coaches, to help them get more stuff. And second of all, answer that question of what you do if you have 2 balls and 50 kids, and educate the coaches to become community leaders and educated grassroots coaches. We build a whole platform around that together with our ambassadors. So that is the main thing that we do. So we're not a camp organizing organization. No, we're supporting rural grassroots volleyball coaches. We empower them to become community leaders and with that spread volleyball in their community. And in general, the whole volleyball community can help us with doing this. So it's a whole community-based organization.
So how can we help? So we're pretty connected in the volleyball world, even now from youth to college. When we run into our friends that are out there, colleagues, what can we tell them about you guys? What do you need? Because you're right, we have a lot of stuff. And I'm sure a lot of the shoes are in somebody's closet and they're not doing anything with them, right? You got volleyballs that they go through every single year. Not too sure they just may dump them. And how sad is that when you have what you're doing and it's all going to waste. So how can the three of us help you guys?
If you would ask me this question 1 week ago, I would tell you a whole different answer than I'm going to tell you now.
Okay, something happened a week ago. All right.
That is just because of how much the USA is picking this up.
Great.
1 week ago, I would say, you can volunteer, donate, you can adopt your own volleyball school in Africa. Once you adopt that school, you can actually collect your gear and send your gear to that. You can actually come with us and go visit your adopted team, and that's a life-changing experience on its own.
Sure.
Tons of ways to help. Now, we got so many people adopting their own school in Africa. We're in Latin America, we're in Asia, and we're talking about Stanford University, Texas Longhorns, to Slunks, Sports Imports, all the big brands, Huddle, everybody is getting involved.
Brilliant.
I'm like, holy shoot, what is happening? And we started the tour yesterday. We're on the beginning, no?
Right,
So one of my biggest worries, we're a fully volunteer organization. We have 45 people from all over the world that is running this organization from passion and heart in 4 hours per week of voluntary support.
Okay.
We are in desperate need of some professional people that can help us scale up the organization because this is about to explode.
Yeah.
And it's great to make this explosion because we're going to help so many kids have access to volleyball. But we would love to continue also to run this organization.
Yeah. So, financial backing. You guys are looking for some capital, right?
Absolutely.
just put it out there, man. No need to beat around the bush. We need money.
Like we're desperately looking for, in America, you call this development director, if I'm not mistaken. In the Netherlands, we would be more direct. A fundraising director.
Right. Okay.
So that's a big help. And we would love this person to come from the US and understanding the US market because there's just so much support coming from this area of the world.
So in that development director that you would be wanting to look for someone, is that someone that would be just again, capital, someone that could bring their capital in, someone you would want to hire and work through that. What are you looking to find in those ways in general?
So 2028 LA is a big milestone for us. We're going to be here together with Slunks.
Awesome.
And, that is the time frame where we're going to be looking to have at least 4 or 5 full-time employees into this organization. We're not in need of that right now. We're slowly scaling up to that part. So it can be somebody that just wants to volunteer their time for 4 hours in the week. If I look to 2026, our goal is to hire as soon as we can 2 full-time employees next to me. So I am sorted since this year. I've done this 4 years with no financial backing and just volunteering my time full-time.
Yep.
And the help is needed right now. If we could find 1 or 2 companies that would want to sponsor an employee for us, for example, or actually be very much involved and help us raise more capital, that is the biggest help needed.
I got to tell you, guys, if your brains aren't going, I think we know a lot of financial guys out there in the volleyball world that's already played, that's very seasoned in that. I'm just kind of racking my brain right now. Even like through my LinkedIn right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can think of 3 or 4 or 5. Oh, there's 6. You know what I mean? So, and you're right, Lesley. We talk about it on the podcast all the time because Coley and I, we're kind of American football fans, and Coley played, and I played in high school, and Bear was a multi-sport athlete. But we say it all the time. The volleyball community is just different. We take care of our own. We really wrap each other's arms around each other, and you don't find that. I mean, you don't find that. And we had the Northridge coach, on here, and he basically said, "Where are you going to find in another sport or even in the women's game that will share their coaching philosophies?" You just don't, right? Where the volleyball community is a little different. Everybody wants to be, competitive, beat the crap out of each other, but at the same time, right? If they're willing, the best coaches are the most humble and willing to share.
Yeah.
I've always said that, right? So, just to hear your journeys and Viola, yours as well, and you guys are doing amazing stuff. And I mean, Chris, I can't even tell you, like the timing couldn't be perfect, man. I know you guys have been around for a while, and you guys have filled a huge void in our world, in the volleyball world, beach-wise, and with the new technology and the new trends and all that kind of stuff, to be able to do all the customization you guys do, is you guys can be put in a better position right now. So super, super happy for you 3 for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're doing is beyond special, right? And TK told us that a long time ago. Yep. I talked to him a couple months ago as well, just to see, we started this. I think I told you this. We started this podcast to tell the story of volleyball, tell fun stories. Like, you talked about, Chris, just, growing up with the lifestyle of volleyball, right? Yeah. We wanted to bring that to the podcast, right? We have had Hildebrand on, we've had Geeter on, just telling fun, crazy stories about, you guys have been to Africa, TK and I in Colombia, just doing a bunch of different things. Bear in Colombia.
I was in Colombia as well.
I know.
Yeah,
my fault. Didn't want to throw you out there, but
I appreciate that.
And it's summer.
Yeah.
France next summer?
No, Colombia.
Colombia next summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Chris is
just getting the opportunity to do that is amazing.
See if we can get back down there, Coley.
Yeah, let's do it.
Chris is managing a new Colombia shorts.
Oh,
that's be a nice release.
Yeah, we'll be doing another fundraiser for the Colombia trip and for all the kids out there. So we're actually starting to work on the design tomorrow. So it'll be starting the process tomorrow.
Wow, that's crazy. So just a little tiny bit off topic is let's say you guys approach University of Texas, right? And Slunks is there with you, but you know what, Chris? They're Nike. How does that work? Can you even touch them? Can you even sponsor them? Like, how does that work? Because with you getting in there, then Viola and Lesley could potentially get, you know what I'm saying? So are certain universities hands off if they're all tied in?
That's a great question. So the cool part is we do Texas, we do UCLA, we do USC, but we do their club team.
Club teams.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay.
University of Oregon. Have you done them yet?
We have.
Okay, perfect.
We've done about 50 different colleges.
Okay.
The cool part is if you have not seen the college club championships, that is something you have to go see. I've been the last 2 years, and last year it was in Phoenix, and it was in the Diamondback Stadium where baseball plays, and there was 10,000 kids. So the coolest part about the club scene is everybody just loves to play the sport of volleyball more than anything.
Yeah.
So for them, it's kind of like a 6-man type thing in Manhattan, where it's everybody's gonna go, but once you start to get out, everybody parties, and then they go to the finals. So there'll be 10,000 kids partying, watching, cheering on the other colleges in the finals, and it is one of the coolest. You know, I've been to the Division I finals, I've been now to the Olympics, I've been to a whole bunch of things. Totally different, but everybody's so passionate about the sport of volleyball, guys and girls. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, we had Chris McGee's nephew on here, and he's at University of Oregon Club, so that's why I ask. McGee's just a fantastic person, and his nephew was great on here. Cole, you're going to say something?
No, I was going to actually say the same thing. We actually had Dylan on here to talk club volleyball. And, you know, it's great that you mentioned that, Chris, because, you know, we talk a lot volleyball. You know, like I mentioned, we've had Al Skates, we had Jared Elliott. You know, we're talking volleyball, we're talking D1. There's so much more to volleyball than that, right? And you're talking about a club tournament for kids that just want to play volleyball. They're not on scholarship.
Right.
Yep.
They're going to school. They're going to practice on their own, kind of like you would in high school. Like, you're going to all this stuff, and they're there because they love it. They're there for passion. It's pretty awesome to do that.
Yeah, and then we were talking, Coley, when you kind of vanished, we were talking, Jaden Blanchfield is sponsored by Slunks. So she's a big, she puts it on almost every reel that she puts out there, and then she's still playing pro overseas right now. So we've had a couple of your guys on here, man, and all good stuff. But like I said, this is a different podcast for us, and it's just brightened my day that you hear about a corporation and an individual, you know, part owner to give back to the community, and then we have somebody from the Netherlands and some from Italy. That has been great, and what you guys are doing are fantastic, and I hope you guys get the capital that you need just to grow this thing, because I think what you do is brilliant, and I don't even this is the first time we met. Super proud of you guys. I mean, even you, Chris, been doing this for a long time, but man, knocking it out of the park, really taking care of the community, and you guys just realizing that this volleyball community is amazing. Yeah, I'm super proud of all three of you guys. That's good stuff. And that's coming from an old guy. So please take
we're old. So do you ever go back to Italy and play? Do you still play?
This year, I took a sabbatical. I took a very short contract in between October and December because I wanted to be here. I really love this project, and I wanted to be all in for this year. But honestly, I missed to play. But since I'm in the US, I have this little big dream to be able to play here next year. So let's see if it's possible.
Well, there are a few leagues these days now that you can
exactly.
So,
I mean,
they're both pretty darn good. So
they are. I saw really. We were in Kansas City for the convention, the Final Four of the universities, and I never saw something like that. Honestly,
what'd you think?
Really, it was amazing. I mean, I wanted to be back at B20 and in college in the US and be able to play that final. No, the girls were amazing. I love how much people support the university and women's sport here. And to be able to see all of this was priceless. I mean, I'm very grateful to be here.
So I have a question for you. You've been playing professionally for a while over where you play. Give me the difference you think in the levels from the collegiate game that you got to see, the level of like the speed, the strength. I mean, they're younger, right? They're 20, 21 years old. Pros are 25, 30. Were you impressed with the level at the university compared to like where you would grow up? I'm curious what you think of the levels in regards to that.
I was pretty impressed about the level of the girls. I wasn't expected that to be that high, honestly. I really understand the speed of the ball while I play. Usually, when I look from outside, is not the same thing. Like as a middle, you just know when you are out there and you watch the ball like going from a side to the other. But from outside, it's always a little bit different. So I would not be able to say to say which one is faster, if in my league or here. But it looked very fast, so that's what I can say from outside. And I mean, I loved how many solutions and how much creative was the game, not the usual setting, but yeah, very. The middles were really so much used in the final, and I love to see them speaking middle language and do a lot of difference. And so, yeah, I mean, Italian level is very high. I think it's one of the best championship in the world. I've always played there, but I've always been very happy to play there. I think those girls could easily come in the highest league and play. And yeah, I think they will. I think they will.
And I think some will. And I think the goal for, at least here in the United States, and you mentioned it, you want to play here, is I think the goal would be to try to make, these leagues. We have a few, maybe it ends up being one, but right now we have a few women's leagues, to try to make that the best leagues in the world, right? And they're bringing foreigners, folks from outside the United States to come and play right now and all over the country. And so it's great to see the game here, being an American and being able to turn it on television and watch it here instead of trying to find a YouTube channel or piping it in, watching, FIVB from all over the world. It's not watched as much here in that regards. Like, you're not going to find a 12-year-old girl, unless she is so devout, like your parents are really into it, to get up at 2 a.m. and turn on a YouTube channel to watch you play in the Champions League, right? That's just, it doesn't happen. But having the sport here on TV in the United States, where if I have that 12-year-old girl or 10-year-old girl, that I can actually sit on my couch with her and watch television at 5 p.m. on a Sunday or whatever it is, really helps grow the game. And one last thing I'll say, because you mentioned it, is I think it was either TK or maybe Jared Elliott, who's the head coach at Texas, that said this, is you got to see what's so great about the universities here in the United States. Even though the NCAA, and we're not going to talk about that, has some issues right now with college sports, it really is a special thing to come over here, go to school, and get to play a sport for the college you're at. And that's why so many folks from all over the world at the younger ages are trying to come and play sports here. Basketball, volleyball, they're 40, 50% of the teams these days in a lot of the high-level teams aren't from America. They're from Europe. They're from South America. They're from Asia. And they're coming to play college volleyball or college basketball or whatever it may be. So it's great to hear your perspective from playing at the highest level in Italy and getting the opportunity to come watch the highest level in the United States at that level, which is collegiate women's volleyball. We're not talking pros, but at that level. And for you to enjoy it and to get to see that is a cool experience to hear from my perspective.
It's
what do you
all
think,
about...
Lesley?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't interrupt you.
No,
Please.
I mean, I just connect so much on what you are saying, and it's so much connected in a different level on what we do, and is always to provide access. And as university are providing so much through sport to athlete, to just be athlete and being able to go to the best school in the world and learn and make really a profession out of it, and they are changing their life forever. We are trying to do that also for kids from all over the world that can have some possibility as well through sport. And maybe it's not the same level, but who knows, we have the dream one day to be able to help these kids to get in those universities and have the same path of these big athletes. It would be a dream for us to have a team attending, like come here in LA and see what is going on during the Olympics. Like really, for me, I have goosebumps in my arms because it would be really amazing. Yeah,
it would be amazing.
That's awesome.
What do you think, Lesley? Were you there too as well at the women's Final Four?
Yeah, obviously.
And
he was at the ABCA convention, man. He's closer.
Listen. So you coached a national team in Nepal. You played. You've been around. What did you think of it? At that the whole extravaganza of it?
So my opinion on, so I'm coming from a European perspective mainly, right? Growing up, but then I've seen the different cultures all over. The biggest differences I see is that, so Italy's creating such a high level of volleyball. Turkey's doing great. But they, from a youth level, train on a daily basis, and not just one team, multiple teams. And, you know, in the Netherlands, we just have a club, and, you know, if you're good, you're lucky to train 3 times in the week, but with different coaches. And, you know, we don't have that structure of training every day to become pro. And here in the US, when you enter that college space and you're committed, and even in the club level, there's just so much opportunity to train a lot and to become good fast. What I'm struggling a bit is how much opportunity there is here for everybody else. Like, what if you're not on that level and you stop college? You know, what happens after? And I'm so happy to see that is finally taking a big step as well, and growing the sport from that side. Watching the level and the girls play, I mean, come on, guys, you're in a massive stadium, full, sold out, playing a Final Four when you're 22. Right. That's unbeatable. Like, you can go anywhere in Europe where you want, and then at that age, you will not experience that. And everybody that is having the opportunity to do something like that here in the US, you should be so freaking grateful for that, because wow. Yeah. Nobody outside of the US is copying that. Nobody.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was great too. After you said the AVCA, there was a ton of people that came up to you and basically said, how can we help? Right. So, Chris, were you did you go to the AVCA? Did I hear that right?
I was there last year.
Okay.
This year I was in Finland with Queen and King of the Court. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I have, actually.
I don't think I have.
You were in Finland? Wow.
Yes.
That's where I played professionally.
I was still in Illinois, so
I played in yeah, we're in Finland. Where was it exactly in Finland? Was it in Helsinki or yeah. That's awesome.
Tell us about
it. Tell us about that, Chris. I'd love to hear more about it.
So I went out with Troy Field, who is a professional beach volleyball player. And we went out a few days before. We flew from Helsinki to Lapland, and we went to the North Pole, and that is where Santa was invented. So we actually went to the village where they have all these festive things for Santa and all that. Awesome. The sun only comes up for 5 hours a day or something crazy like that. So we didn't really see the sun much. It was one of the coolest trips I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah,
and then later on, we went back to Helsinki and Queen and King of the Court, which is an amazing volleyball tournament. Wilco, who runs that, he's become one of my good friends. He's an amazing human being. I believe Lesley's going to be working with him next year. Okay. But he runs Queen and King of the Court, where, you know, when you're practicing, you play King of the Court, where, you know, you serve it over. If you keep winning, you stay on that side. If you don't, you come around. Well, he's turned a tournament out of that. And I've been partnered with him. This will be my third year in 26 to be partnered with him, and he kind of runs it all around Europe. He's trying to bring one to the United States. He's brought one to Florida, but it's a really cool concept. But the coolest part is the best players in the world playing it. I got to watch the Swedish boys who won the Olympics in it.
Olympics, yeah.
Boys. I got to see those guys who won the Olympics a while ago playing it. So all the best players in the whole world go and play in it, and then after, everybody likes to have a good time. So it kind of represents the brand real well of go play real hard, but then everybody has a real good time afterwards.
A good time. It's all developed.
So I have a question for you, Chris. If you're not on a team and you do a lot of custom uniforms, if I just wanted to buy a pair of your shorts, and we're telling all of our listeners out here that love volleyball, that maybe used to play like me, or just want to go down to the beach or go down to the gym and work out in them, how do they get your shorts?
We have a website, getslunks.com. We have a bunch of different options. We have, sweatshirts and hats and stuff as well. We're known for our shorts. The cool part is they're sustainable. So they're made from recycled water bottles as well. And it's as good as Lululemon and all these other top brands. It's just we have some fun with it, and we typically throw some fun, bright colors on there. Not everything is super loud. We have some plain Janes, as we call them, that are just black for the people who want to go to the gym, and just the black and stuff. But we have a website, and we attend a lot of tournaments. We partner with the AVP, Queen and King of the Court, a lot of the CBVAs, and a lot of,
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but he is so kind and humble, right? But when I went to the LA Convention Center 2 weeks back, seeing the hype around Slunks, I would not recommend anybody to go to an event to buy Slunks because you're going to stand in line for 1 hour and a half.
Oh, I
At
bet.
6:30 a.m., there was a 1 hour and a half line from the entrance all the way to the shop of Slunks, of people wanting to buy Slunks. So go to the website.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, don't go to the convention center. Just go to the website. You're better off.
Well, the only reason we have those lines is because we were at the SoCal Cup, and what we do is when we go to, we'll make a specific pair. Like if we're in LA, we make an LA pair. You have to be there in person to get it, and we only make X amount. So if you don't get it, then you don't get it. We go to Chicago, we'll make a Chicago pair. If you're not in line and you don't get it there, then it's tough luck. You don't get it. So what's crazy is there's now a secondary market where kids are trading and selling it. Just like Nike shoes, there's a kid who made $60,000 last year reselling Slunks. So it's become this crazy thing, and we didn't intend for it to happen, but it's happening. So it's cool, but it's I mean, we just have fun with it. To be completely honest, there's no mastermind behind it or anything like that. We just love the sport of volleyball. We love making cool, fun, bright stuff, and we just have a good time doing it.
Well, you think about it.
Organic growth is always the best.
They make 100 hats or 100 pairs of shorts. And it's like, oh, all you 3,000 that are in line, how much do you want them for, right? And then, that's that's amazing.
Well, we didn't mean for that to happen, but
but still, I mean, it's like you said, Lesley, it's the hype behind it, and everybody's just waiting in line for these things. And can you imagine being the 101st person in line, and you can't get that 100 that's being made? Are you kidding me right now? That's awesome. I think that's great.
I tell a lot of angry moms. And
is that right?
From, Christian moms that you didn't think you'd hear words from them, but I definitely.
That's awesome.
It's like the old days. They're too young, but you remember when we used to have to stand in line for concert tickets?
Oh,
you guys probably didn't have to do that.
Same thing. There
you'd
was
have to
no
actually
internet.
stand in line at Tower Records or one of those places, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, they're out." You're like, "What? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
So
Sold out.
that's crazy.
That's awesome.
Anything else you would like to tell about your tour, about what you're doing, that you'd like to let the community of volleyball know before we, close up?
I mean, you've mentioned 2 or 3 times already Jared Elliott, so I assume he's watching this show.
You better be.
So I would love to give him a shout out. Another connection through Tim as well, but he is just loving what we're doing, and he just committed himself to getting all the SEC teams to adopt a school in Africa, so we can copy the whole league and have our players play the same league in Africa. How freaking amazing is that? It's just
that's amazing.
Another example of how the community is helping out and getting involved. And Viola and I, since yesterday till February 28th, we're crossing country, literally everywhere. So if people want to invite us over and have a chat and meet up,
and dinner,
reach out
and breakfast.
Here. Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk on how to help each other and promote the sport of volleyball and make this movement bigger. And
are you going down to Texas?
Absolutely, yes. Sure.
Okay. I'm going to put you in touch with my son's fiance. She played volleyball at UCLA. She coached. She actually worked for Jared a little bit with, the hair tie. And I think she'd be great to talk to you. She might be one of the folks that you would like to have that extra 4 hours a week. She's super engaged in volleyball. And like I said, she played volleyball at UCLA. She coached at the University of Tennessee. Now she's coaching club again in the greater Texas area. So I will put her in touch. We'll talk after, and I'll get you their number. My son is as well. I'm going to just say this, before we go, and this is what just makes it great. First of all, Jared Elliott's one of my best friends, and he's such a great human being. But this is why I love this sport. This is why I played this sport, and this is why I gave my whole life to it, is exactly what you said. People care. People want to help. People want to listen. People want to party. And people want to tell fun stories. And the entire community of volleyball, there's nothing like it. I played college football. My son played college basketball. There's nothing like volleyball. Nothing.
Yeah, all good stuff. Chris, Lesley, Viola, if you guys...
great echo, like you were speaking like
Yeah.
God.
Okay, yeah. He just kind of was like, I'm in my stadium and let me talk. He had this little brilliant stadium echo going on. But Lesley, Chris, Viola, man, this was off the cuff a little bit. We sure do appreciate you guys coming on. Anything with that we can do for you guys. And yeah, Slunks, you guys are killing it. Just like I said, super proud of all three of you guys just doing stuff for the volleyball community. And we really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on Set the Pipe. And boys, great interview, great podcast.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
guys.
much.